You guys in the chat tell me be careful with playing the music. I'll just cut this out at the end. I'll just cut it. But to me, bro, this is definitely one of the best records Drake made in years. This is my favorite track off Ice, man. I must have played this like 1,000, more than 1,000 times, more than 1,000 times. You've been waiting on me. Shout out to Launcher Swag, Captain Caleb, Cinder, 007 from the MH. Fomo is the missing final tracks. Get ready. I'm curious, man. See, at first I thought it would be like I still think he's filmed music videos for some of the other records from like Maid of Maid of Honor and Habibti, but I think he'll probably trickle some new shit in there too. You say Janice is the best one? Yeah, Janice is fucking yeah, Janice is tough too. You know what? When I was just working out, I was like for the first time in a long time, push-ups came on when I was working out, and I was like, I had to run it back because it's been a long time since I've listened to it. Push-ups was fucking tough, man. Like people can't like to me sonically, I think that's the best record like listening experience wise. I think it's better than Family Matters as far as like you like Dust? Man, push-ups went so tough. So tough, bro. Push-ups went crazy. And I think it's aged pretty good too. How do I feel about him selling the OVO clothing brand? Well, bro, we can get into that, man. Like, I'm actually on the fence with it because I'm a little bit worried about it. I'm a little bit worried about it, and I'll explain why. So, for those of you who don't know, this rumor popped up a while back that Drake, they were in talks of this company, Authentic Brands Group, was in talks of buying OVO brand, like the clothing brand, right? And this was something that popped up about a month ago. And now it's official today that they did indeed acquire a majority stake of OVO. So I think they got 51% of the brand. I'm not I am not subscribing for the full story. I'll just go somewhere else. Let me see. This is actually big news. It's huge news in the saga of Drake and everything he's built. This is like a bit of a somber day. It really depends on what he does or what they do at this point, right? But yeah, here it's all right here. Drake OVO sells majority stake to Authentics Brands Group, and this company is what troubles me a little bit, like about the other companies they own, and kind of like a history of how they operate, right? So, anyways, Drake will continue to shape the creative vision of the company. So he does have creative control. He's got 44%. Now, mind you, he's kept 44%. They got 51%. This other dude named Vince, like this other company, they got 5%. So Drake still got 44%. So, it's not like he has no say in anything, but he doesn't own the majority of the company anymore. And Authentic Brands Group does. So it says here he'll keep some creative vision of the company, which is good. October's very own has a new home. Authentic Brands Group has announced the acquisition of a majority stake in the intellectual property, the IP of October's very own, also known as OVO, the lifestyle brand and apparel company co-founded by Drake. Right? So it says he will retain a significant ownership stake. Now, what I don't know about this is what about Oliver? What about 40? And Future as well, I think. I'm wondering what, like that 44% that Drake has is probably split between them unless unless they just took the money and wiped their hands clean of it. But I'd imagine Oliver still has stake in the company. 40 probably, unless they wanted to be done with it. I know Oliver stepped down as the CEO back in 2024, and they gave it to their finance manager. I think his name is Derek, if I'm not. So Vince Holding Corp is the 5%. So apparently they're going to be taking over OVO's operating business. They'll handle the clothing design, product development, merchandising, and retail stores. Right? We're just a couple kids from Toronto who started something we believed in. Here we are 20 years later. Same kids with bigger dreams. Authentic and VNCE are the perfect partners to help us continue to grow. So yeah, like maybe the company has hit a ceiling, and which happens to a lot of like smaller companies. Maybe it's grown as far as it can at this point. But when you look at authentic brands group, this is what kind of troubles me a little bit, chat. Because like if you look at the brands that these guys own, and you'll see a pattern here. We got companies like Reebok, Champion, uh, um, Guess, Nautica, Eddie Bauer, Aeropostale, Quicksilver, Billabong. I know what some of you guys are thinking. You probably thought that some of these companies didn't even exist anymore. Because like for me, Aeropostale, like a lot Quicksilver, you don't see this shit around really anymore. Volcom. Now you could see that Drake has been added as well. October's very own, right? So they're added to a long list. Forever 21, Roxy. What else we got here? DC. Airwalk. Like, let's just keep Element, Tap Out. Let's just keep it real. Like a lot of these companies, they're like culturally irrelevant at this point. And I'm pretty sure when this company bought some of these companies, they were already dead, right? Like Billabong and Quicksilver, I think they were like going through a bankruptcy when this company took them over and bought it. And I think that's what they do. They'll find companies that are in trouble, but they feel like they could scale these companies and get them to grow, right? So that's kind of their forte. Now, that's not the same situation for every company, but let's be real. Like, let's look up some of these companies. And this is my problem. Like every company is different, so you can't compare apples to oranges. But right now, OVO you can only get at two places, right? You can get OVO on their website, right? And we've seen a big shift with OVO over the last couple of years with these like, these licensing deals for the UFC, Disney, Lego, WWE. They've been doing a lot of this, right? But now they've gone even further with it. So yeah, the only place you could get OVO is somewhere like this or at an OVO store, right? They've got several stores. Like here's one right here. Actually, it'll tell you where they're at. Look, they got one in Yorkdale. They got one in the Eaton Center. Those are both in one is these two are in Toronto. Square one is in Mississauga. Scarborough, they got one there. Rideau Center, Chinook Center in Calgary. There's one there. There's one in Vancouver, and there's one in Burnaby. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 flagship stores where you can go and get OVO. Now that's about to change. Right? And how it changes is really, to me, what this company does next with the brand, like what stores it puts it in, could make the difference of the brand exploding and still doing well and still staying culturally relevant, or completely fucking dying. Because like, let's look at some of the stores that like Reebok, for example. Reebok used to be a pretty respected brand, but like, let's see if they're in Walmart. Here you go. Like, Reebok has Walmart, or Walmart has Reebok stuff now, right? What about Champion? Champion's been at Walmart for years. I don't even think I need to. I don't even think I need to type that one in. Everyone knows you could get Champion stuff at Walmart. What else? David Beckham. Like, I'm not sure what that entails. Is that his cologne, or does he have? What does he have? Is it just his likeness? I mean, he's big business, right? I'm not exactly sure what that entails. Guess. Like, can you get Quicksilver at Walmart? Quicksilver, Walmart. Yes, you can get Quicksilver at Walmart. Nope, never mind. Quicksilver clothing. Yeah, there it is right there. They have t-shirts, graphic tees, Quicksilver, Roxy, Quicksilver here. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Like I don't want, like, as someone who's been such a massive fan of the brand, like as far back as you could get the clothes, I had it. And like I feel like the owl logo means so much to like Toronto, to Canada, to like culture, Toronto culture. I would just hate to see it end up like, I'm in Walmart shopping and I see a fucking owl. I see owl memorabilia on the racks, right? I'm not saying they're gonna do that, but it's possible. It's possible, right? Now, there's a lot of places they could put it. Like, I don't think they're actually gonna put it in Walmart. Personally, I don't think that. I'm sure they discuss these things, but like, is Volcom at Walmart? Volcom clothing Walmart. Yes. Yep, it's at Walmart. What about Billabong? Billabong, Walmart. Yes. You can buy Billabong clothing, shoes, and accessories through Walmart. So you see what I'm saying, right? Like you see what I'm saying. Like a lot of these clothing company, a lot of these brands used to be like huge brands. Like I remember Billabong and Quicksilver and shit like that, bro. Like when we were younger, these were very expensive brands. Like I remember one time, my parents, I took them in to get me like a hoodie. I think it was like a Billabong hoodie, and it was like $80, and they're like, "There's no fucking way. There's no way you're getting this. You're shopping at Walmart." And eventually, it ended up in Walmart, which is kind of kind of interesting. So I think two things happen with a lot of these brands. One, you start seeing them in places you never expect to see them. But two, the quality of the clothing goes down, and the price goes down, and the exclusivity goes down. So unless they take a brand like OVO and put it, because I do think there's places they could put it. I think there's places they could put OVO, like there's stores for OVO, where it's not going to take away from the brand's identity, and like, it can have real estate and be on racks in some specific businesses where it won't take away from the brand and help grow it. But there's also places they could send it to completely fuck it. You know? You know what I mean? It'll be at all the teenage clothing stores. How fitting. Oh, come on, man. OVO, they're in Walmart though. Like that's what I mean, right? Eddie Bauer, like is that in Walmart? Let's see. I'm just looking. Eddie Bauer, Walmart. Yes. So like based on like I'd had to do more research on how this company operates, but based on what I'm looking at, Aeropostale. Let's look at that. Aeropostale, Walmart. Yes. Wait, can you get the clothing there? Yes, you can buy Aeropostale clothing through Walmart. So you see what I'm saying, man? Like I would just hate to see a brand like OVO end up in a place like that, or a Winners, or a Marshalls. It would completely fucking destroy everything. It would just completely destroy the cultural value that the brand has, like what that owl means. Especially when you look at how it started, right? It couldn't have started any more organic. Like it started completely from an authentic place with just a couple friends coming together and banging their heads on the desk to figure out what would work. And they built this thing where like the first time we saw the owl, it just looked so cool. Like it's such a cool logo. It's such a dope it's such a dope looking logo. Like how they did it, like the OVO is literally the O is the beak. October's very it couldn't work any better. I think it's like the dopest logo. And I just hate to see it get oversaturated and put in the wrong places, right? Now, mind you, some good things could happen from this. Like, the brand will be more accessible. And maybe they won't put it in all these stores. Maybe they'll just help build more flagship OVO stores, and they'll just expand, and they'll keep it on the website and do all that, or maybe they'll go another way with it. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to a company like this, they're clearly not too concerned about culture, brand identity, or anything like that. Based on what I could see, They just want to maximize profit. And if they want to maximize profit, Walmart and Marshalls and Winners is a perfect place to put OVO. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it, chat. Like, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what type of moves they're going to make. Drake seems to have gotten a really good payday today, right? You say, how does Walmart ruin a brand? Walmart sells. Bro, if OVO shows up in Walmart, it's a fucking wrap. I don't even know how that's a question. I don't even know how that's a question, bro. If OVO ends up in Walmart, like, who cares if it's selling a lot? Like, it's just, it does not, the identity of the brand will be completely torched. That'll be it. That's the one thing they got going. Like, that's great. You can only get it at OVO stores, but I'm not sure what happened to Forever 21. I thought they were like actual stores. They are, right? You can't get Forever 21 at Walmart. They're still like, is it still a store? Yeah, but it operates primarily online and through wholesale partnerships. Ah, can you get Forever 21 at Walmart? Is it at Walmart? Yes, Forever 21 and beauty products are available at Walmart. So, look, I'm just saying, you might see OVO on the fucking racks at Walmart. Like, if they want to completely take away from the identity and everything that was built and make the most money possible, they'll do that. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You say Macy's and Snipes would likely be fine. No, I was thinking more like what about like a place like Kith, for example? Like streetwear, different places like that carry brands, like but like a more premium brands, like even like a boathouse, bro. Even like a boathouse. I don't even know about boathouse, bro, but like I'd rather see OVO at a boathouse or like a JD Sports or something. Like, you know what I mean? At places like this where there's some overlap, like they already carry Nocta. So I think seeing OVO on places like this wouldn't be so bad, but I don't want to be browsing a rack in Winners or like Marshall, you know what I mean? You said nobody wants to rock the owl. I fucking love the logo, bro. Kith will be perfect, right? Places like that. Places like that where it's like premium brands. It doesn't look at a place there. It's living amongst all these other premium brands. You know, like it's not cheap. Um, I think that will be the best look for expanding the brand. You know what I mean? Sports is like Snipes. Okay, yeah. Like even like, I mean, Foot Locker might not even be such a bad place to put it. Even Foot Locker, like because you got a lot of stuff there that would probably be a better fit than a fucking Walmart. Because if you got to lower the price so much to get it into Walmart, you're lowering the quality of the clothing. You're lowering everything. It's just not. I don't know. Nordstrom, yeah, the places like that, places like that. Nordstrom is up there. Nordstrom online, yeah, like there's places like this that could take the brand that I think it wouldn't damage it so much as help grow it. But it really depends. Like what did they carry Nike? Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, like a place like this would be a better fit. You know what I mean? Kith is hypebeast brands and Drake has never been associated with fashion. So Kith isn't a good fit. Well, you know what? Like it's kind of funny you say that because OVO started like from the blog, right? Like it never started as a clothing line. I'm not even sure when the owl first came to be. Like the blog started in 2008. Oliver was posting on the blog, lots of fashion shit, lots of music, obviously Drake's music, like behind the scenes shit of Drake. He was trickling in like other people's music. Basically, what what Oliver did with the blog was exactly what Kanye was doing with Kanye's University City. Because Kanye had started his blog the year before. And if you line both blogs up, they were pretty much identical. Like Kanye had more one-off stuff and like crazy shit, but for the most part, Oliver was just posting whatever was interesting to him and things that Drake was doing. But like I said, the blog started in 2008, and that was the first time we ever seen the words to October's very own was then. And then eventually, I'm not sure at what point the first owl came into it. I think maybe it was like 2010 sometimes, where it was 2010 where they introduced an owl, and eventually they got the logo. I think the first thing they ever did was the Roots jacket. OVO Roots jacket. First article of clothing, maybe? Was it the Roots jacket? Let me see. Fuck, they've been doing it for so long, bro. Like, and yeah, once they like in the beginning, bro, of OVO, once they ran like they started the clothing line, people were lining up like it was Supreme for this shit, right? But what was the first article of clothing from OVO? It was the varsity jacket made with Canadian heritage brands Roots. 2011 OVO Roots jacket. Varsity. Is that the one he was wearing in headlines? Oh, I think it was. Damn. I wonder how much one of these go for. What happened here? It just took me to a completely different. I clicked on the varsity jacket. It took me to a signature Thai massage parlor. I ripped off. This is it though, right? I want the OG. Like the very, very first one. Which one is it? Is it this one? Fucking same thing again. Oh, this must be it here. $1,200. So I think this is the first thing they ever did, and it was in 2011. And then after a while, they did the crew necks, right? Like once the crew necks popped up in Started from the Bottom, that's when it just really took off. Once they showed them there, Started from the Bottom, Drake. Right here. See, I had that shirt that Started from the Bottom one. But there was a different one where they were wearing the crew necks. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom. So that's kind of where, like, at this point, I feel like the brand was doing really well, but it took a while for it. Like, in the beginning, I think they were selling it at local stores in Toronto only. And I think even in New York, they took some product. Eventually, they opened up the storefront. Once they opened up the storefront, then the floodgates, then it just continued to grow year by year. Now, there's some rumors like people are saying Drake is broke, which is just like, Drake is far from broke, bro. Like, let's just be honest here. The dude is making reportedly $100 million a year from stake alone. Do you realize how much $100 million is? That's just one thing. Why do you think, like, where do you think he gets all the money? I saw Alex Moss posted a crazy fucking piece for Drake today. Look at this. Look at this new piece that he's got. I'm assuming this is for Drake. Look at this thing. That looks nuts, bro. It got to be for Drake. Like, it's got the ice cubes on it, right? Like, this chain looks ridiculous. Like, holy shit, bro. I would look fucking ridiculous wearing that. Can you imagine me having one of these around my neck? It would look so crazy. Alex Moss got to be the best jeweler. Created, I created cover. This guy's always did. This guy right here, this Titus Graphics. He every post I make, bro. He drops a photo like he drops a comment like this. I created a cover for Lil Durk to show that nobody can imprison a man. He'd be like, I created a thing for Drake. I created a thing. As good marketing. Maybe it's just a bot at comments. What's the ice? Yeah, I think I would look nuts wearing one of these, bro. But like, I'm assuming this is for Drake. Assuming. This doesn't look cheap. Like he's buying these all the time. He's buying pieces like candy. Like even that Rolex that he just bought, I can't imagine how much that cost. This. Like this is ridiculous, bro. This is not a jewel. It's a vape. This is my last thing I got to quit, chat. All my vices are gone. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything anymore except for this. This is the last thing that I got to cut out of my life, you know? One thing at a time, you know? Yo, shout out Dirt looking like Diesel. Listen, man, I'm in the gym. I'm going crazy. You know what, chat? I feel better than I've ever felt. Like as long as I've been on YouTube, I was looking back at some of the old stuff I was doing, and like I was just like, I was making more money than ever than I had ever made in my life on YouTube, but I wasn't healthy at all. Like I looked like sick looking back. Like I was just like not mentally good. I was pouring so much into the channel, I didn't do anything else. Like there were days where I would get 400 steps. Now I'm getting 10 to 12,000. Like look at this here short right here. Like look at this. What if I told you when Drake called? All right. Wait. An old snippet from look. What if I told you when I think it's a big difference, right? Like I look old as shit here, bro. Like I look 40. I look like I'm 45. No, I look 50. I look like an old ass man. Shout out to Jay Roebuck, man. Run the likes up. Shout out to Jay, man. Jay, you want to hop on or what? Actually, fuck, I got to pause, but I got to figure. I can't quickly bring people on. Fuck, I should call him. Now you looking like what's the creatine? I do take creatine. I do. I die slower. That's funny. Look where I paused it. Look where I paused the video. Look, hold on, let me freeze it. It says die slower, pussy. Right on top of me. Nah, you look 41. I look like I haven't seen the sunlight in a while. The more you attack Drake, the richer he gets. Pretty much. Next OVO sound, 45. Yeah, it's crazy. But this is what happens like when you just put all your eggs into the YouTube basket and like don't look after yourself. Dirt looks 59 with 7 grandkids. Really though. It's a huge difference, man. I feel so much better since I got control of my health again. The 50 Cent and T.I. beat, right? Send me a text. Okay. Actually, I'll just call Roebuck. I'll just call him. Actually, you know what? I think I could call him. I think I could call him from here. 1 second, chat. I just gotta not expose any of my an old snippet from my messages. Hold on 1 second. I don't want to bring up my text on here. 1 sec. Let me open this over here. Let me open this. Just bear with me, chat. Okay, that's better. I could call him from here, actually. I could call him from my computer. I think that'll work out perfect. Let me see. Let me see. Can you guys hear that? Yo, Roebuck. Yo, Chak. Yeah, Chak, can you hear Roebuck at all? You know what, Jay? I'm just gonna call you back and like just put the phone up to the thing. Okay, okay. Let me see. It's just way easier for me to call him this way. I definitely got to figure this out so that it's easier for me to call people. It's just I rarely call people while I'm on stream. FaceTime audio. FaceTime audio. The king of debates. The king of debates, bro. Wait. FaceTime audio. FaceTime audio. There we go. Okay, chat, we got it. Yo, what's good, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. Let me make sure chat could hear you. I'll turn up my mic a bit. What are you up to, man?
Man, I'm in the crib, man. I did 3 videos today. I'm exhausted.
Did you do 3?
Yeah, I was on vacation earlier in the week, so
What?
I had to catch up on a lot.
Because you were trying to do a video every day of the month in August, right? And you did it.
Yeah, I was trying to hit 25 videos. I think I'm at 28, so I surpassed what the goal was.
Have you noticed like some good growth from it, or what? Like, do you? Because like, there's been times where I thought about trying to do that too, but like, do you notice? It's obviously been advantageous, right? You're pumping out a fuck ton of content.
Yeah, it is. It's good. I'm also trying to diversify a bit, so I was doing some more reactions to the media members. I did a LeBron James video. Today I did a Kevin Durant one. Kevin Durant isn't performing too well, but it's a part of the growth. You know, you just got to
Yeah,
keep grinding, and the audience will find it when they find it.
yeah. It's kind of random for your channel too. Well, not overly random, but like, you've been doing a lot of hip hop stuff consistently for a while.
Yeah,
So like
facts,
throwing a sports
facts.
thing in there is kind of. But yeah, you've been going crazy, man. I'm looking at your channel right now.
Yeah, man. This is
14,
this.
11, 11, 20, 33, 35K, 14K. This is your best. You can admit that this is your best month yet. Like, as far as like,
In consistency, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
This has been the best it's been. But I kind of keep getting better, keep grinding, and then keep working on the edits and the thumbnails, and we here, man. You're
your
in this for the
thumbnails have
records.
gotten way, way better. Like, the Kevin Durant one looks really good.
Yeah. I got a guy who works on them, so I'm
Ah,
trying my best. So it definitely a good thumbnail is the key. A lot of people talk about like content
it
and
is.
how to get more views. You got to have good thumbnails. You got
Yeah,
to have
there's
good
times
thumbnails.
where I'll spend a full day just messing around with the thumbnail.
Yeah,
Like it,
it's worth it.
So I'm gonna ask you a couple things now. First,
Yeah.
what do you think about this new FOMO album thing? Like, what do you think is gonna be like if you're gonna give it a guess? What do you think the FOMO thing actually is?
I think it's visuals. I don't think it makes sense to do a new project right now. I think it's just too much in the air. Well, for us as consumers looking at it, it's like, is he out the deal? Is he in the deal? So, how do you put out music? Do you want UMG to continue eating, or does UMG have the fear of missing out on your next project? So that's how I
Oh,
view it.
that's the thing we don't know too. Like, we don't really know the status of Drake's deal, his contract. Like, no one really knows for sure.
Exactly.
Like we still don't know if he's really out of his deal. A lot of people kind of assumed it, but nothing's been concrete with it where we know for sure. So like
Yeah.
I'm with you though, bro. I think he's still filming music videos from the other three projects. Like I think he's already done a couple videos for it that we haven't got yet. So
Yeah.
maybe he might sprinkle some new shit in there. At the same time, on Twitter, I was looking and someone had pointed out that he mentioned FOMO like back in 2025 or something. Like he made a reference to it. I don't know if it's related, but maybe this is something he's been planning for a minute. I remember you were pointing out at one point. You pointed like how you thought there would be a fourth album because you remember in the zine he had like the 4 switches and like
Yeah.
what was like blue, green, red, and yellow.
And those are the 4 colors. So we're missing one if you're going off that theory. And then I don't know. It's tough to say. Like you said, no one really has the answers. Only he knows. But he might not even know. because if you're getting out of a deal, do you know the amount of paperwork that has to go on? Then they have to count the albums, the songs, the minutes, the recoupment.
Yeah.
Does the label owe him money? Does he owe the label? Like, there's so much that goes into this that
Yeah.
it's not something that's going to be sorted out in a few weeks or in a few months. So look at how long the rollout was for Iceman, and then you got 3 albums. So who knows how long we'll be waiting? Because I obviously think there was a lot of business going on behind all of those things. Drake funded the project, so
Yeah.
he was so thoughtful with Iceman. I don't think he's rolling out a new album by posting fear of missing out. Like, I think that's just too simple.
Yeah. What would you say right now? Like, if you were gonna have an album of the year, would you be giving it to Iceman instantly?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's no question. I
Yeah,
mean, I
me
think
too.
the best rap song and the best rap verse of the year are Iceman. I think the only thing that you can look at and say what's an album that's on this level, if you're looking at it from just a non-biased standpoint, a lot of people will point to the Fall Off. I
Me
think
too.
the
Yeah.
Fall Off right now is in the lead to win the Grammy for Album of the Year. Not that Grammys matter, but that's something that people will point to. But I think in terms of what Drake delivered, in terms of consistency, in terms of visuals, in terms of songwriting and structure, I don't think it's close at all. I think
Br-
this is the best album of the year
Yeah,
of any genre.
I'm not mad at people when they give it to the fall off because I like the fall off too. And I feel like, when it comes to Drake, all those things you mentioned, of course, but I just can't overlook the fact of everything he had to overcome to
Hmm.
get to Iceman and what he's talking about on Iceman. Like, it's just like this crazy story arc. J. Cole has a story of his own and he addressed some of it on the album, but like what Drake did, bro, is unprecedented. Like, they really thought he was out the paint. Like, they thought he was done. And he proved all these people wrong. And to me, that's like a big part of why I love the album so much is just that part of it too, right?
Yeah, I think you make a good point. So I think for Drake, this is true redemption. I don't know if not that J. Cole cares about this because I kind of get where he's at mentally, but did he have a redemption arc over the people who were upset at him for apologizing on stage? I don't think the answer is yes to that. I think his fans are just so locked in. He's selling it. He sold out 5 nights in New York.
I
So
know.
his fans are locked in, but did the album really cross over into the people who were on the fence? I don't think so. I
I don't
think
think it
Drake's
did.
album was able to do that.
I don't think it did because of the interviews he did.
Oh yeah.
I think the interviews hurt him in that regard because he was like so transparent about like how he felt and he was
Hmm.
just an open book when it came to it. I think that because I remember when he dropped like 99 build and like when he dropped that tape, he was going crazy on that tape. And people were like, "Holy fuck." Like a lot of people were saying like kind of on the fence like we kind of forgive him if he's doing this is crazy. And then he delivered with the music on the fall off, but then he did these interviews that kind of a lot of people didn't like what he was saying in the interviews,
Yeah. I
right?
I I think it's like it's similar to Drake. It's like there's a group of people who will never be happy with what you do, and I think it's odd to say this, but I think Cole is now misunderstood. Like, even if you look at like what Maul, I mean, Maul has now apologized, or he was like calling him performative for crying, but meanwhile, there's this whole backstory about it, but
Yeah.
people wouldn't know that. Like, if Caleb didn't, say it on Twitter, and I think there was another user who explained it as well, how would anyone know it? So I think Cole is missing like the I don't know. There's just something off with the messaging where I don't think it's translating to certain online communities, but it translates to his fans, which matter the
Big
most out of
time.
everything. So
Bro,
that's all that counts.
honestly, the first time I heard, uh, um, what was the record? The one that he cried to? It was "Love Yours," right? I got
Hmm.
emotional hearing that live, even right. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people, I looked around. A lot of people like it's just that type of record, right? And I get it, but he's definitely killing the shows, man. Like my buddy went to the one in Vancouver, and he said it was crazy. Like Cole is like he's like a top 10 performer ever. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever seen him live, but
Yeah. Many times. Many
he's
times.
amazing, right?
Yeah. He's a real MC. I mean, he knows the work front and back. He doesn't need the back vocals, and he's someone who can engage the audience,
Yeah.
which is tough to do in hip hop because it's so easy to get complacent and just rap the words. But when you can lock eyes with someone, when you can meet the crowd where they're at, I think that's a special talent that he has. I just don't understand the disconnect with the media and with the fan bases online. I just think I don't know.
It's
I
terrible.
think the messaging is off. So that's why he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. And I don't know how to fix that problem or if they even want to fix it.
I think at this point, bro, he's just happy with the fans that he has. Like you said, bro, he sold out how many nights in New York? Like he's looking into a pack full arena or whatever. And like why should he care about what Ebro thinks or like any of
Hmm.
these guys, bro, when he's got that many people who are screaming at the top of their lungs, happy to see him. All the merch is selling out. You know, what more do you want? You can't make everyone happy.
Exactly. So it's a part of the game. I mean, that's why these guys are so different. Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, they're all different. They all occupy different lanes.
Big time.
So it's a world where not everyone can be happy. I mean, look at today, for example. Like I saw you were talking about Drake selling OVO. Like, there's just so the opposite ends of the spectrum. There's people like I woke up this morning and hit refresh on my
Me
YouTube, and there
too.
was like 3 people live,
I
like
was like,
saying,
holy
"We
shit.
told you, he's evil, he's demonic. This is karma." Like
like
it's crazy, man.
like like the first thing we just finished talking about that and I could see you made a video about it too. So it's like, bro, what do you really think about it though? Like, because to me, I see both sides. Like, I just don't want to watch the brand get watered down. And
Hmm.
like, I'm clicking on all these companies, and we just did on stream, like Billabong, available in Walmart, Quicksilver,
Yeah.
Walmart, Roxy, Walmart, Reebok, Champion, pretty much any brand I clicked on, Juicy Couture, all of them were available in Walmart. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do with OVO because I think like, there's places like maybe Kith or like
Hmm.
there's a lot better fits to put OVO as a premium brand that I think, if it's on the rack surrounded by other premium brands, I don't think it'll water it down, but if they start putting it in places like that and printing the logo on cheaper quality clothing and just mass producing it, I just think that's where the brand goes to die culturally.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest concern. But something that I thought about is they retained what 44% or something,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think they would retain that percentage if they didn't believe in where it was going.
No.
Yeah, and I also think that Drake's next frontier is what does your career look like when you're not behind the microphone all the time. So
Yeah.
I think he wants to focus on other lanes and endeavors. So I look at like Sean John, I look at Rockaware. What did these artists do? Like they transitioned out of that, and
It's the
unfortunately, they
exact
sold.
same thing. It's the
Yeah, they
exact same
sold,
thing.
but they sold like 100%, and then it really just went to waste. So I
Yeah.
see there's a little difference there, but I think he's preparing for what's next, and I think what's next for him is what is his Rock Nation,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What is his Yeezy? And I think clothing is a little bit too simple, and I don't know if it really encapsulates who Drake is. I think his brand is now luxury and sports, and there's some middle ground there. So I look at like the event he did, Strong Women, Stronger Drinks. I look at Knock the Manor. I look at things like that, OVO
Yeah.
golf tournament. What's the next frontier for him, and where does he live in that space? I think that's where he's going.
Yeah, I don't even think like it was a lot. I don't think it was this crazy aspiration for him or well, maybe Oliver because he was into streetwear before, but I don't think this was like something that he was crazy passionate about from the beginning. I could be wrong, but like the clothing line OVO just happened. Like
Yeah.
it was just such an organic thing, right? So yeah, I think you're right. Like, and I've been saying this for a while too. I think Drake is looking to do more of these multi-million dollar plays, these even billion-dollar plays, right? Like the place that we've looked at Hove for all these years, all these moves he's been making. I think Drake is going to start doing a lot of those things too. That's been my prediction for at least the last year or two that
Yeah.
he's going to start. Because, like, how much more albums is Drake going to give us, bro? Like, what more does he have to achieve? Like, clearly he's
Hmm.
just doing it for the love of the game, but eventually, like, with the landscape, like, the way that people treat Drake, man, like, what's the point anymore, man? Like, just
Yeah.
with the way that they act. I wouldn't wanna do it, but it's for the love of the game and the fans, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think he loves music more than anything, but I think again, Where do you go? Like once you've reached the pinnacle, what more is there to achieve, and what is really going to satisfy you as an artist? And I think artistry is, he's not just a rapper, he's not just a singer, he's a multifaceted artist, he's an executive producer. Like Top Boy just got approved for two spin-offs today.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
th- that's where I see the next frontier is with Dream Crew, and with the production and with the
Yeah.
television. Like that may be his long lasting mark outside of music. So
Yeah.
I think that's where it goes.
No, I agree with that. And like, even with the backlash he got for like the 20v1 with the women, and like, there are people who are like, I'm disappointed about this, that Drake would do this 20v1 with the women. And it's like, which guy are you referring to? Because he's always been cracking jokes. He did the ESPYs, he did like
Mm-hmm.
he's done SNL. He's been doing these things forever. I just don't think he takes himself as serious as a lot of these other guys. Like whatever character or act they got to put on, that maybe they take off at home, or maybe it exists there too. I don't know, but I just don't think he takes himself as serious as those dudes. And like in a lot of ways, he's trolling. What did you think about like the discourse around that? Like the way that
It's
it's just
it, the people who are upset about it aren't the intended audience.
no.
When you go on a stream, he's not talking to you if you're 40 years old. He's talking to people who are between the ages of 18 and 28. That's who the intended audience is. And that's the next set of people who are going to grow with him. Those are the people who will support him in 5 years and will have the money to pay to go to concerts and buy physical products and buy albums. It's not for people who already decided how they feel about him. So if you're upset, it's likely because you've aged and you don't even see it.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. That's like one of the most clipped things of any stream of all time. Like that's what the Nelk Boy said is like their most clipped thing ever.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the goal is get in front of people, be yourself, and laugh. And then on top of that, what does that do for Steak? Now that Steak sees that he was able to take whatever budget they gave him and turn it into this viral moment that lasts for weeks, when he goes down to renegotiate his contract with them, do you think he's going to try to re-up for another 100 million a year, or is that
No.
number gonna rise?
Well,
Like it's
listen,
crazy.
he's basically like, I wouldn't call him the face of State because there's like people like Aiden, but he's a huge, huge part of the success of that platform. And like I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about this too, because OVO Fest, for example, hasn't been one since 2022. And I'm just wondering, with the budgets that he has now, like, because they back in like 2020, I don't know what it was, they made like a full replica of the CN Tower. Like they put a lot into the OVO Fest, and we're due
Mhm.
for one. It's been 4 or 5 years. So now that he has like stake and stuff behind him, if he could, OVO Fest might be crazy, like the next one, right?
Yeah, and it has been a few years, so I do wonder like where they're trying to go with that and where they will go from it. I think the live venues and entertainment is obviously like he just opened up the new
The odd,
what is this place called?
that culture center in Ottawa or whatever, like the
Yes, yeah, history, yeah.
history
So
center. Yeah.
he just opened that up again. So like you see where he's going and you see who he's partnering with. Like he's partnered with Live Nation on that.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing. Like it's
it's
like
just a different level. It's just different levels of
it's
playing right now.
yeah, I mean, but he's had a relate I mean, he's kind of had to, I guess, with the way that Live Nation like operates. Like you kind of had to do business with him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess he's um still in good, like I don't even see the Live Nation stuff, like even all this Jay-Z shit, because I've always been a big fan of Jay-Z. Like he's been quite literally my goat with Drake. Those are my two favorite rappers. So I've never really dug into these conspiracy theories or like Live Nation or Rock Nation. It was only that first video I did where I looked at it, but
Mhm.
so I don't know a lot about the Live Nation rumors and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it boils down to this. This is a small industry. All of these people make money in different ways, and sometimes businesses will go to war, and people are left in the middle of that. So if you're the face of a company that's competing with another, certain things will come with that. If
Yeah.
you're in business with Live Nation, they will protect you. And Live Nation obviously is expanding into Canada. Drake is the ambassador for hip hop culture in Canada. He's the biggest face there musically. Him, Justin Bieber, in the weekend, but in hip hop, it's him. So that's where they're building and that's where they're expanding. So all of these people make money together in different ways. I think it's just now that people are so interested because we've never seen hip hop get to this level, like where a rapper is investing in a casino. Like
Yeah.
that didn't exist 20 years ago.
No.
A rapper didn't have an $100 million
No.
tier sponsorship. That didn't exist. So now it's interesting that people are paying attention to business and entrepreneurship and lawsuits. It's because people who are part of the culture are now involved in ways that we've never seen at this level.
Yeah, I mean, Hov said it himself. What'd he say? They thought Hov would sell clothing. Not in his lifetime. Wasn't in the right mind. Now he's
Yeah.
doing stuff, that you never expect. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, just to pivot. Um, the game. You
Mhm.
know, what did you get? What was your opinion of how? First off, I did watch your video about how you rolled it out, and I thought it was perfect too, dropping the Drake
Mhm.
track the way that he did. What do you think about, like, the approach he took, though, and as far as, like, a lot of people are still claiming he dissed Kendrick. People are saying, the Kendrick side's there's a whole discussion around it. I was just wondering your opinion.
Listen, where Game is, he's cold. He's cold. So how do you get hot? You bring the biggest artists and conflict. Now, Game obviously is not an idiot. He knows that it's a political landscape whenever he's discussing Kendrick, and he did an interview with Big Boy, I think, and someone else where he said he had like three versions of No Breaks, but he had to change it to
Yeah.
protect the coast. Like even
Yeah.
when you say something like that, what are you? We know what you're implying there, and it only keeps the conversation alive. So that's the goal. Game needs to market the project, and that's how he's gonna do it. I don't read into it any deeper than him and Kendrick don't see eye to eye. Kendrick won't get on the phone with him. So he is going to be the person who speaks about it publicly.
Yeah.
And whatever comes with that comes with that. So
Yeah.
that
I mean
that's Game's MO.
I mean, that's always been Game's MO, though. Like, if you look at how he's rolled out damn near every single project, it's came with some bullshit. Like, pretty
Mhm.
much that's like his whole it's always been that strategy for him. Like, so I'm
Yes.
I'm not surprised. In fact, I think this is the one of the projects where he did it the least amount compared to some of his other projects where he did full on diss tracks to people.
Yeah, I mean, this is like you said, this is the playbook,
It's the
and I
playbook.
think he took advantage of it at the perfect time. Like you just had the verses. I know he was working on this album for a little while because him and AZ Chike were in the studio a while ago. People said this Drake song is old, so Drake could have done this hook a while back. If you remember, Game like released these voice notes of Drake telling him he wasn't gonna do a verse for the
Yeah,
album. So like, who knows how long these things have been in a tuck, but game is the game, man. You got to stay relevant somehow. And if you don't have any single, how do you do it? You
man.
cause a little bit of friendly conflict.
I've been saying for years. I feel like Game has one of the most solid discographies. Really, like he doesn't drop all of his projects to me are pretty are either good or great or a classic. So like the
Mhm.
guys, and I feel like he did deliver with this last one too. But I did feel like it was a little bit too long. And there was like it was kind of bloated. But for the most part, bro, he definitely did his thing.
Yeah, I think the album is good. I mean, he's a hell of a rapper. I
He
think
is.
it's just the ants. People just got a little bit tired of the antics, and yeah, I think the album is a bit too long. But I think everyone's trying to make long albums, obviously for streaming. But I
Play it.
think yeah. So I don't even know what it's so. I don't even know if the first week sales are out or anything. I have no clue.
Yeah, I
No
think. Oh
idea.
yeah, I didn't even look that up yet. I don't know what the first week sales were. But yo, like just one more pivot. This whole thing with Charlemagne and academics, right? Like obviously,
Mhm.
we've got some new developments in like the whole thing where Inverse Wire, like it was gone, it comes back. This dude takes full credit for the website. He
Mhm.
claims that this was all part of an experiment. That he was just getting the bots to do it for him, and kind of ran it that way. Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's plausible. I think I didn't really dive too deep into it because Twitter's just been so toxic lately. I've
Mm-hmm.
been trying
Mm-hmm.
to chill out on it, and people are like adding me about it. I'm like, I don't really care to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's plausible that he created this, and I think I saw his people were saying his background is in technology and he made money in crypto. So that tracks that somebody who's good with that skill set would know how to use AI to create a website.
Yeah.
I think Defran like reverse engineered the photo and found it. So I mean, yeah, it's plausible. Do I think that Rock Nation made the website? No,
N-
I don't think that. I don't think they did that because it just first of all it's super sloppy. You took the website down, then you popped it back up trolling. I just don't think it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. But
No, I'm with you.
that's what my
I'm
mindset is.
100% with you. I've been having conversations with this dude over the last couple of days actually,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's actually like making a new website for me at this point. I think like he's gonna give me like he's gonna show me what he can do. But I do believe him because I was talking to him, and you're right. Like he's definitely very tech savvy, and like I think what happened with him is he did make this. Maybe he did hate Drake. Maybe he didn't
Yeah.
like academics, and he made these articles. Like he kind of prompted the bot to make negative articles about it. Maybe the stake situation. It does it, and then Charlemagne stumbles upon. Maybe he was just doing a Google search. I don't know, but he finds it and he quotes it, and I think,
Mm-hmm.
that's why. I think that's how it happened. I don't think it was made by Rock Nation. I just think Charlemagne quoted it and it became a thing. And then this guy finds out this random website that he made among the other 4 or 5 that he made popped off. And then he pulls it and then he just comes back and starts trolling, which he did tell
Yeah.
me because I was asking him, I was like, on August 24th, they posted like 4 negative things about academics and like a bunch of positive things about Jay-Z and Rock Nation. He's like, yeah, that was me. He's like, that wasn't the
Mm-hmm.
bot. He's like, that was me just trolling the situation. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I still think there is something going on between the two parties, like Jay Z and Drake. I just don't know how deep it is.
Yeah. I think time will reveal just what's going on. I mean, I think we're gonna get the Jay-Z album probably in the next couple of months. He has the HBO documentary coming out. Drake will likely have something. I don't think something to say about Jay Z, but just something to say about the situation. He said the line on stream, so I think people just got to be patient, and then whatever answer you're looking for, you'll get. I mean, you got the Larry Jackson thing. He's in court right now trying to see who was behind the AI website about him.
Hmm.
So I mean, but his AI website was a lot.
It was different.
You can. It was very different,
It was
and
very
it was
different.
the sources it was pulling from was very different. And there was a layer of complexity to that.
Yes,
That's another reason why I don't think these two things are
linked.
related in that.
Me
So,
either. I don't think they're related anymore. Like honestly, in the beginning, maybe I kind of just when I strung out the timeline, like this happened, then this happened, then
mhm.
this happened. It looked compelling, but the further we got into it, it's like I don't know if these things are related, bro. And as far as Drake and Jay Z, like with the way some of the fans are, it's almost like Drake is completely obsessed with Jay Z. Everything
Oh my
he
god, oh,
does is
don't get me
about Jay
started.
Z, somehow linked back to Jay Z, and it's like, no, bro, he's not that obsessed with the man. Like he might have, there might be real beef there, but I don't think everything Drake is doing is about Jay Z. What do you
Yeah,
think?
of course. Like, what do people think that he's sitting in his house masterminding this
Stewing.
plot against? Like, bro, what do you think people are doing with their time? Like, and this is the other thing, right? When you put an idea in your head that this thing is true, and then you just go back for a decade and look for clues, yeah, you're gonna trick yourself into believing that, yeah, these are the signs all along. So we obviously know there's been conflict. The two of them have said it on wax. We know there's something there, but it doesn't mean that they're living their every breathing moment trying to kill each other.
Like Drake's a busy guy, man. Like, like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like something might not pop off in the future. Well, like to me, what I think I'm not expecting a full on battle to happen between Jay
No.
Z and Drake. In fact, I don't want a battle to happen because we just lived through it, and it's just like I think it had insane negative ramifications to hip hop as a genre in general.
Yeah.
And for that to happen again, bro, I just don't know, you know.
Who gains? Who gains, right?
I don't think either
Does
one of them
Drake?
do.
None of them. Drake has nothing to gain from battling Jay Z right now. And again, look back at 2024. You're in contract negotiations. You just got off tour. You wound up in a battle. So right now, you just dropped 3 albums. You got the #1 Latin song, the #1 hip hop album, and the #1 R&B album, and you're in a contract negotiation still. What do you gain from engaging in a battle?
Nothing.
You gain nothing. So I know there's ego involved at all times, but there is nothing that he has to gain from it. You're cemented already. So I just don't see it. And then I saw there's this dude on Instagram. I don't He's like an anonymous page, but he's like a wealth of knowledge on music. His name is Artemis Gordon. He's like a great follow for anybody looking who's interested in like business and old stories. So people submitted like questions to him and they were like, "Oh, what do you think about the Jay-Z ghostwriting rumors?" And he gave an answer that I'm like, "Damn, why didn't I think of that?" It was like, people are coming up with these rumors now. Don't you think that if Jay-Z had a ghostwriter, Dame Dash would have exposed this
Yes.
25 interviews ago? And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like if he did have that, now mind you, I'm pretty sure Dame. I think he said Bleak might have had a writer or something like that, but I don't think he's ever said anything in the realm of Jay Z having a writer. And if anyone would know, it will be Dame. And when you look at all the other stuff that Dame has said about Hove, yeah, I can't see why he would be
Yeah.
holding that back, right? Someone in the chat said, "Did Dirt ever send out those OVO prizes?" Bro, it's crazy. I just sent out an email about it because Drake's been so busy. And it was just the other day where he gave me an update on the boxes. For whatever reason, Drake wants a firsthand, he wants involvement in what goes into the boxes, like himself, right? So the last update that I had on the boxes, and trust me, if it was up to me, this would have been done a long time ago. But obviously, I don't know how high I am. I'm up on Drake's list of things to do, but I've been trying to keep the winners updated. And the last thing, I'll share the last update just publicly because I did, I did. So the last thing I was told was have a couple size small stragglers coming in for the few boxes in smaller sizes, but everything else is pretty much ready to go. So within the next week, 2 weeks, the boxes will be out, right? Will be out. But like I said, man, when I first spoke to Drake about this, he told me like he said I got crazy shit to put in these boxes, like and he's having a first hand involvement in it, so it's gonna be good. So I said that publicly. All right. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, I mean the Jay Z ghostwriting stuff. Like even when I made the video on it, it it was compelling to string all of it together. But at the end of the day, I do think you're right. Like if he did have a ghostwriter, I think it would be out by now, maybe, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't even got to go too deep into that. I mean, if Dame hasn't said it, Kanye hasn't said it. I know people who have produced full Jay Z albums. I wouldn't even bother them with asking. So it is what it is. But listen, man, keep the live going. We got I think 370 in there right now. Let's get it to 500.
Let's keep going, man. No,
Yeah, man.
we gotta like try and do like a once a week something or something, bro. Like I gotta get you on here. Let's talk after I'm done. Actually, once I wrap up this conversation, I'll probably. What do you think about? Yeah, well, we should talk after about if you're down to make it
Yeah,
a segment.
yeah. We'll
Um,
make it happen. There's a lot to talk about in hip hop as a whole, so we could figure out a
yeah,
way to get through a list of topics.
I think they would like that. I think the audience would love that. So you know, I think it would be dope. But did you listen to Kendrick's new record? I know you're not a fan of Kendrick's music.
I heard. I didn't. I have to listen to it. I heard like Twitter. I need to sit down and go through it, and then I'll formulate an opinion. Actually, we'll probably do a video on that tomorrow morning. That's a good idea.
That's a good
So
video.
yeah, I'll do a video on that song.
See, I'm gonna start doing what you're doing on my clips channel because me and my girl are moving to a new town, a
Okay.
much better town. It's a 16-hour drive. I'm U-hauling it, so that's like in the next couple weeks, and then like we made a commitment where on the clips channel we're gonna post a video every day for a month, and
Yeah.
no matter what it is, like, and just pump out content on there and play that game. Have you been following the Dirk trial very much, or
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little upset. I wanted to cover it more in depth, but you know what? I realize, I mean, I can't compete with what Ack is doing, like bringing in the live
trap
calls.
lore?
Like, so, I understand the strategy that the defense is going for, but I mean, this is such an uphill battle. Even if he somehow beats the murder for hire, he has another two cases to fight after this.
Yeah,
Like that, so it's sad. I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, but even with the things that people are alleging, it's like, listen, man. Once you get to a certain place in life, you gotta let some stuff go.
100%.
You gotta let some stuff go, because there's people with children who are now missing their father, women missing their husbands, mothers missing their kids. People are dead. Like there's no winner in the situation.
Nah,
There's no winner.
there's not, bro. And like, I've always avoided those types of like topics anyway, like the gang stuff. And it's not even like
Mhm.
I wouldn't even say it's like a morality thing as much as like I'm just not overly interested in it. Like when I consume content, even though Trap Lord is a friend of mine or Ack, like Ack could do an 8 hour stream about the Dirk stuff and I don't even watch it. And like even when I think about Lil Dirk, I might know 5, 10 songs by this guy. Like I'm not a massive fan of Dirk. I'm not a massive fan of drill music. So for me, like people tell me all the time, like you would be amazing at doing these like true crime type videos just with my editing style and the way I present the story. And I think they're right. It's just like, but I'd be forcing myself to cover something that I'm not really passionate about. And that's kind of why I avoid it for the most part.
Yeah, it is. I struggle with it because there's so many ways that you can look at it. You can just do it from the straight hip hop sense, because I like a lot of Dirk's music. I like King Von's music a lot, but it's unhealthy to listen to because it's trauma. It's real trauma,
Yeah.
and these people are scarred for life, and that's a whole other thing that no one's going to talk about is generationally, what is this going to do to Dirk's children seeing their dad go through this? Jam, who's up on the stand, what does his son say? I think him and Lil Durk's son are like best friends. Like, it's a crazy thing to think about. So you gotta approach these things with a certain level of respect for the people involved, and you gotta, just try to be as unbiased as possible. But we're humans. I know people have ways that they present content so they want certain outcomes, but these are real people's lives who are being affected. Like, these aren't circus animals and zoo animals. This is real life.
Yeah, like when I look at the situations, it's hard not to think about just how different some people's lives are, like compared to like someone like me, a white dude from Canada. Like I don't really know anything about these plights, right? Like it's just
Mm.
I'm so disconnected from it, bro. So it's like something that I just don't discuss really. But I think as long like for me, the music, and like the lawsuit, I'll dive into that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Jam and Dirk's sons were friends. I doubt they're gonna make it through it. I doubt their friendship's gonna get through this. Sadly.
Man. Yeah, I can't even think about it. I'm trying to catch up with all the. I like reading like the cross examination stuff, so I think that was something Brian Steele brought up. Um, but I don't know. I got to do like a full thought video on it.
I think you should because
Yeah, but
because
it's complex.
you know how you're saying like, oh, academics is doing his thing, Traplo Ross, Seti Nash is covering it. There's a lot of people like that, but I feel like no one's really, and I could be wrong, but like someone who takes it and puts it into like a really palatable video for people to just like and hit the main points, like maybe not go into the depth of everything, but just cover the main things in like a nice package thing for each day so that people that don't have time to watch an 8 hour stream
Yeah.
can understand like the main things. Now, mind you, there's probably tons of people doing that. It's just I just not aware of it. You say Traplo
Yeah.
Ross adds too much of his opinion. Listen, man, like I'm proud of Trap Lord for like this direction he's taken for his channel because first the narrative was that this guy will never leave his country. He's just a dude in his mom's basement in the UK, and he's just a Reddit dweller. He doesn't talk to anyone. He doesn't get information. And I think he's proved all those things wrong. One thing, he moved to America. Secondly, you do see him at events. He does go outside. He did sit down with Sharp. He did sit down with Math Hoffa. He did sit down with Loon face to face to challenge his ideas and plead his case, on his own content. And now I think like the last thing on the list for him is the people who are saying this guy doesn't get real stories. He's not a real journalist. He's doing it now.
Hmm.
He's at the courthouse. He's literally, and he's doing, like, to me, I think he's built for it. Like, clearly he's good at it. He's excellent communicator. I think he's meant to do what he's doing. And I think in the next, I do think he'll make mistakes in the beginning, and he'll have some slip ups, and he'll do some things wrong. But in a few years from now, man, I could see big things for Traplo Ross if he continues exploring his lane.
Yeah, I don't watch his. I mean, I know what he does. I don't watch his content. I think he's just missing like a cultural compass.
Yeah.
So he needs like a cultural tour guide to walk him through how he approaches some things. But I have respect for people who build platforms because now that I'm going through it, I understand just how difficult it really is to do this consistently and do it through negative comments and like hate comments. So
Yeah.
best of luck to him. And I hope he figures out a way to just continue to do it and keep in mind that these are real people's lives and feelings. And like I said, if there was somebody who could culturally walk him through maybe some of the comments he makes, I think he'll go far. I mean, he's already far. I mean, I'm sure he's made hundreds of thousands doing this over the past year or 2 years, however long he's been doing it. But you just got to approach these situations with a little bit more empathy. And I think a lot of that pushback that he gets will die down.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. Because like even when I started my channel, because I've been such a massive fan of hip hop for so long, since I was such a small kid, I came into it with the idea like I know this. Like I know all these things in and out, like and not understanding that there are cultural blind spots that I'm not aware of and like nuance that I just don't understand, right? And,
Mhm.
and that took all that took for me was time, um, um, to recognize those things, right? And there's certain things that I shouldn't speak on at all, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and it's a part of learning, and it's a part of being around the right people, and it's just respect. It's just respect, but it's all a part of the game. Everybody has to learn and adapt and grow, and I think he has some people around him, hopefully, who are helping him now. I think academics corrected some stuff that he did the other day. So
Yeah.
listen,
I,
nobody's
I
perfect.
think I think what changed for him was really because he has been talking about this gruesome reality of the streets for years, right? Doing these documentaries for years. But it's different when he's doing the David trial and they're showing, the images of the little girl.
Hmm.
Uh, um, I'll keep it PG, but mutilate it, right? And
Yeah.
him seeing that in real time and seeing these things, I think it's maybe helped humanize people, even though maybe he should humanize people in the beginning, but maybe it's give him a brush of reality,
Yeah, I
right?
think so. I think you got to see that these are people. Like when you read stuff on Reddit, it's just words. But when you start to empathize and sympathize, it evokes a different set of emotions in you. So,
100%, 100%, bro. But yo, bro, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it, but let's link over the weekend, man, and get on a call and brainstorm um what we can do, you know?
yeah,
Let's
yeah, we'll chop it up, man. Good luck on the move. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I think we hit over 400 right now. So salute everybody. Make sure y'all run up them likes.
That's good because academics is live right now. So like
Oh no, that's great. That's really good.
I,
He I think
I
there's like 15,000 people in there right now.
yeah, usually I don't even go live when he is, but I'm like I start thinking like I can't run my business like that, bro. I got to build my own. Like it's just,
Yeah.
nonsensical. Okay, man. Well, what's the next video for people to check out for? I mean, they should
I,
definitely watch the one you just dropped. Drake sells
yeah.
OVO.
Yeah, check that one out. That has a lot of good info. Check out the one with the chess piece where it says what Drake's next move is about to change everything. That goes over everything Drake did this summer and kind of where I see things going. I think that's a really good watch.
That got 22K. See, like, you
Yeah.
pump out a video like that in a day, 27K, 20 like, if you get enough of those, bro, it's like I mean, it all adds up, you know, like
Yeah. We working, man. We working for sure.
right? Alright, bro.
All
Well,
right,
be
bro.
in
Be safe.
touch. Okay, man.
Peace.
Peace. What do you think, chat? What do you think about me and Roebuck doing, like, a weekly segment? Not just on Drake shit. Obviously, we're both, like, pro Drake creators, but I think we're in a situation where, you got your academics and people like that, and then there's, like, there's, like, a level below that, and, like, I think 2 of us together could make something dope. Like, I feel like we got good chemistry as far as, like, our conversations go. You ready sold half of OVO? Let me get to a couple super chats real quick. Certified Donnell 251, my goat. Thank you, bro. Captain Caleb, Drake is smart with contracts. I believe in it. I think he is. Another 2 from Captain Caleb. Authentic Brands has Neiman Marcus on there. So, $2 from Fuck Your Couch. Why don't you chop up the live and release it on YouTube? That's what I should probably do. I would have did it for the Roebuck, for the conversation we just had, but his face isn't in here. I'd rather have it like I got to figure out a way where I can quickly add people in. Yeah, you and Jay should create something together. I think so too. I think it would be dope. Like just a weekly thing, like where we go over shit. I think it would be sweet. We split the super chats 50-50. Like he could link his channel to it too if he wants. I think it would be dope. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, chat. Like I got a video coming here real quick, so don't worry about that. It's been a couple weeks since I put out a video, so I got one coming, but I am in the middle of a move, so it's a little bit